Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Instructional Cycle 6 overview video. So, Instructional Cycle 6, you're going to have 3 graded assignments, and then obviously the big test, American Lit end of course test, you'll take the first week in May. But first assignment will be a Faulkner-Kennedy speech chart. You'll also have an EOC review quiz, and then the last 3 weeks of school, we'll work on a final project. We'll talk a little bit more about this final project towards the end of this video, but essentially you're going to have the choice between 5 different projects. You'll pick one and work on that for the last few weeks of school. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the first week of Instructional Cycle 6. You'll notice that in this week you'll have a to-do list for each day. Be sure that you do complete the items that you see at top. Some of the days may or may not have an optional module for you to complete at the bottom. The optional is just that. It's optional. It's not mandatory, but I recommend working through it. The more knowledge you have, right? But be sure you have to complete the modules that you see up top. So Monday, April 9th, you're going to be looking at William Faulkner's Nobel Prize acceptance speech. You'll learn a little bit about the historical context and learn some about more about Faulkner's speech itself. You can see you have your attachment here, your Word document for the speech chart. Tuesday, you'll still be working with William Faulkner's speech. You should watch this intro video for the soapstone. Soapstone is what we're going to be using to analyze both William Faulkner's speech and President John F. Kennedy's speech. So watch that video, kind of explains how to be successful with that. All right, Wednesday, April the 11th, you'll listen and or watch President John F. Kennedy's inaugural address. So an inaugural address is the speech that the president gives once he's sworn in as president of our country. So you can watch that. You also want to check out the module for analyzing the speech, and obviously continue working on your speech chart. On Thursday, I've got a video in here that's about the Cold War. So President Kennedy's inaugural speech, kind of the backbone of the speech had to do with the Cold War and how we should confront our enemies at this point in history. So you can check that out to learn more about the kind of societal impact and what was going on in society when President John F. Kennedy gave that speech. And then Friday is when your Kennedy-Faulkner speech chart will be due. So you'll find the drop box for the Kennedy-Faulkner speech chart will be on Friday, April the 13th in your OHS. So that's week 1 of Instructional Cycle 6. Weeks 2 and 3, we've set up an EOC maze for you. So if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, we've got 6 different domains here: speaking and listening, vocabulary acquisition, reading informational text, reading literary text, writing, and language. So these are the 6 domains that you're going to be tested over in your American Lit end of course test. So we want to prepare you for that as much as possible. The good news is that if you've been coming to class and you've been completing your assignments, then this is going to be a review for you. You are more prepared than you realize. So each day focuses on a domain. So the first maze room is speaking and listening. So you would want to follow the instructions. It tells you exactly what to do to be successful. All of the rooms have videos for you to watch, and then also a short 5-question quiz. Quick 5-question quiz. So you can work at your own pace when it comes to the EOC maze rooms. If you would want to go ahead and work through several of them, all at once, you can do that. You'll just for the next room to unlock, you have to complete that 5-question quiz, and then once that's completed, you can move on to the next room. So be sure you work through all 6 rooms: the speaking and listening, the vocabulary acquisition, the reading informational text, the reading literary text, the writing, and the language rooms. So once you complete all 6 of those maze runes, then you can move on to your EOC Standards Review Quiz. So this Standards Review Quiz will count for a grade, and the grade will go in the grade book. It's a 20-question multiple-choice quiz, and all of the questions center around those 5 domains that you should have worked through in the EOC maze. Okay. Also, for the EOC Standards Review Quiz, you have 2 attempts. So if you don't make the 100 on the first attempt, if I were you, I would go ahead and take it a second time. All right, so that's weeks 2 and 3. Oh, I also wanted to mention, so you guys will be taking your end of course test the first week in May, but teachers, we will be testing the last week in April and the first week in May, because we do the last week in April is when we test the elementary and middle schoolers. So just know that those 2 weeks, that all of your teachers will be administering state tests. So we may be a little slower to respond to text or emails or phone calls, but we will respond. Just know that, we're busy testing, so, it may not be quite as quick as you're used to. And then one other thing I wanted to mention to you guys, there is an EOC prep module that's in your LHS. If you look on the left-hand side of the screen, you just want to scroll down. You see the various tabs. You want to scroll down until you find the one that says EOC prep. And when you click on that, the EOC prep, and you can do this, whenever you have free time, but the EOC prep room, that's got links to our newsletters. It's got practice questions by the standards. It's even got practice tests. So all kinds of useful EOC, American-led EOC prep information is included in that EOC prep module. All right, so after the EOC, you guys will come back and we'll have 3 weeks left of school. So May the 7th will be the first day back after state testing. So this is when you're going to work on the final project of the year. So you'll be able to choose one of the five options. So please don't complete all 5. That's a lot of work for you and a lot of work for your teacher, because we would have to grade them all. So yes, just pick one. You're going to choose one of the options below. Your first option, your American literature short story. This is essentially, you're going to write your own short story using literary elements alluding to texts that we've studied this year. Second option, slam poetry project. You're going to read and analyze some contemporary poetry, then write and record your own poem. The ABCs of AmLit project. This is a PowerPoint Prezi or Google Slides presentation analyzing literature and literary terms we've studied this year. So you'll either do the first half of the alphabet, A through M, or the second half of the alphabet, N through Z. Next choice, novel choice project. This, again, will be a PowerPoint Prezi or Google Slides assignment covering the novel of your choice. Has to be teacher approved, and connecting to literary terms and at least 2 texts that we've discussed this year. So on the novel choice assignment sheet, you'll find a link to some already teacher approved novels, so you can check those out. Also, last but certainly not least, we have the Great Debate. So the Great Debate has 2 options within itself, a synchronous and then an asynchronous option. So for both of them, essentially you're going to write an argumentative thesis statement about American literature and defend it. So defending it is going to depend on whether you choose synchronous. If you choose synchronous, you'll do a class discussion using the mic and chat box. Or you could do it asynchronously with a 7-slide PowerPoint. So essentially, if you choose synchronous, it's less writing, but you do have a presentation. If you choose asynchronous, it's more writing, but no presentation. But like I said, you're going to choose one of those to work on the last few weeks of school. So if you have any questions about what we discussed in this Instructional Cycle 6 introduction video, then please feel free to email your teacher. Have a great day.